In this post, I'm going to talk to you about the application of my technical knowledge in using Premiere Pro. To start with, the basics were used in repetition throughout the trailer. This included the razor tool, in which we used to cut the clips down to the right size that we wanted. It is easy to make the clip the size you want by dragging it onto the timeline and using the timeline tools to take out the video piece with sound. We then moved on to making sure the workspace was in editing mode or sound mode, depending on which part of the project we were currently working on at the time. Each of these different modes allows the user, as in I, to be able to edit more easily and frequently, as the editing tools and the clips are more visible and they're bigger on the screen, as opposed to where it's normally displayed, where it tries to fit everything on the screen at the same time. I was able to import clips from our media sources, which was our DSLR, and put them into a folder bin inside the actual project. This allowed ease of access for getting the clips back that may have been deleted or we over-edited and it wasn't able to undo. So next I moved on to being able to use the certain transitional effects that help the video run smoothly along. The majority of the clips used invisible cuts in order to get to one scene and to the next. In some cases where we had clips moving into the title, we used keyframing, which involves making the opacity of the clip either brighter or darker depending on if it's before or after the title sequence. I was able to get along with this feature with ease and quickly found myself diving into different effects that come along with the opacity changes, for example the levels. The sound cutting and changing also uses keyframes in order to lower the volume levels or raise them. In previous draft trailers we experimented with crossfades to see how well this suited the clip and whether it would be better looking than keyframing or worse looking. And obviously in the end we went for keyframing. I then moved on to timeline editing. There are several layers to one project and each layer holds a different significance. In mostly all programs it uses a hierarchical structure, in that of the top layer being the dominant over the rest. So when the femme fatale is speaking to Johnny, the clips in between that are layered over the top of the speech. This is so the images move with the words on the screen and it's more impactful to the audience. There is also a way that you can make the layers a different opacity or a different layer style in order to them to trickle down so you can have different bits of video inside other bits of footage. When I picked the music for our project, I made sure that it involved a smooth beat and which the different shots being changed would correlate to the beat being played. This makes the audience think more about the shots themselves and this is also a convention of modern day trailers. This, for example, is seen at the beginning of the film where the beat goes ding, ding, and you see it move from different shot to different shot, and also at the end of the film. I also, on previous projects and on the same project, created an adjustment layer to create a cinematic look for our film, using a fast color corrector edit and a three-way color corrector edit. This manipulated the saturation levels and the tonal range definition in order to get a more cinematic approach, which brought out the orangey colours in the footage. Unfortunately, this was not liked by our feedback and we eventually took it out. And then obviously I exported the final product. We used a MOV extension and an H.264 extension in order to get the best footage we possibly could. Our frame rate was set to 60 frames per second or 59.9 frames per second, as the program uses both to export. This created a high definition film and was able to export and render in 1080p for YouTube.